Hey guys, so welcome back to another rumor, ramble, rant. We'll think of a name for whatever we're gonna call this for future videos, I promise. But I wanted to come back with something a little more substantial than just, my personal wants for a scare zone at this year's event. Previously, in a few videos ago, I mentioned that there had been another speculation map released by Horror Night Nightmares on Twitter. Follow them, as always. And I tried to make a reaction, opinion, whatever video about it, and I just kept hating the way it came out. It was overly long. There wasn't much to there was a lot of stuff that I didn't really have much to say about, so kind of felt boring. And I'm not trying to do that to you. I'm not trying to ask you to commit almost 30 minutes to watching a video. That's ridiculous in my opinion. So I thought, change gears. I want to revisit that and make a video for each thing on the map that had my interest. Take the time to focus on one particular thing and just kind of dedicate more time to talking about it. So that's kind of what this is going to be, the start of series something. We'll think of a name. Actually, if you can think of anything, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. So I think what we will do is I'm going to throw up the speculation map here for you to see it. I'm also going to go grab a drink, so when we both get back, we'll dive into what we're going to talk about today. Okay, welcome back. I hope you went and got a drink. I got mine. I promise it's soda. It's soda this time. I will only be taking sips between takes though, So before we dive into the house that I want to talk about today, I did just want to politely ask for you to please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing this video, whatever. As I've said before, I am trying to take this a little more seriously this time around, so any little bit helps, and I greatly appreciate it. But all of that out of the way, we are going to be talking about, throw it up here, this house. And as you can see, it is a carnival tent. Not a lot to go off of just from that. It's just a plain old picture of a carnival tent, and it's not a lot to go off of when you just look at it, to start with. But as you sit there and think about it, what's the most popular, well-known carnival in Halloween Horror Nights history? Carnival of Carnage. And of course, Jack the Clown. Now, I don't think it's a return of any kind of Carnival of Carnage type thing, but actually something that might have been hinted at in merch from last year's event. And actually I'm going to throw up some pictures somewhere, figuring that out later while I edit this. But there was very prominently featured tickets for Dr. Oddfellow's Carnival. And for those of you who don't know, we're going to be diving a little bit into the history and just kind of what I think this could be. So Dr. Oddfellow was Jack the Clown's boss in his carnival. In the 1920s, in the very early life of Jack the Clown, he was part of this traveling carnival. And while a part of that carnival, Jack started killing folks. And, I'm not going to rattle off the whole story, but he went to Dr. Oddfellow with that information when it was starting to be realized that he might be the one who's responsible for all of these murders. And Dr. Oddfellow's reaction was to have Jack killed. So, I think that this could potentially be a Jack the Clown origin story house. Maybe not purely just about Jack. Maybe it's the whole carnival that he was a part of. Because I can't imagine that Jack would be the only person there who was crazy. We'll go with crazy. And there's other little interesting bits just from my reading online and just a little bit diving into the past of Halloween Horror Nights. So when the Carnival of Carnage was starting in 2007, and Jack came back with, the duster jacket, that kind of iconic outfit that he's, been wearing for a long time, turns out that outfit was taken from Dr. Oddfellow after Jack got his revenge and killed him. And, spoilers, but, that's something that I think is interesting because we will be seeing someone else in Jack's kind of most iconic outfit, in my opinion. So as an origin story, we'll probably be seeing Jack running around in, his polka dot one-piece suit, and probably, like less crazy makeup, just kind of, again, a Jack the Clown origin story house. And I think that could be really fun, and just to kind of acknowledge something that I feel is something important, it kind of opens up the possibility for Jack to act as the icon for this event again. In the last few years, Jack has been a presence in the park, especially running around in the lines of the houses and interacting with people. But, there hasn't been a very strong icon in a while, in my opinion. Like last year, it was advertised that the Pumpkin Lord was the icon, but, I didn't feel like there was much story to that. He was just kind of there. So, having the possibility of a Jack origin story house, I feel it kind of opens up the possibility for Jack to be a presence in the park, even more so. So it's something I would definitely be interested in. I think it has strong potential. It's an original house, so those are always, in my opinion, the best. So can't go wrong there. Love the idea of getting a better idea of the history of this iconic character in this event's history. Throughout all these years, Jack the Clown has been the most featured icon above everyone else. And that's just because he's so charismatic and fun. So I think as a potential house on that map, it's probably the one that I'm most interested in, just because I love the history of the event. I didn't want to make this whole video a deep dive into the history of Jack the Clown. We might revisit that at a later time, just to space it out and not, again, make these so overly long. But I feel that this has a very strong chance of being an origin story. Now, of course, it could be something else. It could just be a straight up carnival, and you could see in the background of the image, I'll throw it back up here again, there's kind of like a cloud coming at it, and it could be a Dust Bowl type house, and that could be fun too. But just the idea and acknowledging that in the past, in the store, like the tribute store, in merch, stuff like that, the team at Halloween Horror Nights likes to kind of hint at things to come. And I just feel that by so prominently including, tickets, Jack the Clown's face, like a cartoon face, like even like the little tent. Throw it all back up here again just for you to see. I feel like it's kind of a hint at potentially leaning in this direction. Now, of course, it's pure me taking a stab at something in the dark. Who knows? But it's definitely something I think has strong potential. Now, I'm not gonna ramble too much more about it. I just want to kind of get this out there, kind of, maybe talk it into existence. But, definitely please let me know your thoughts. I want to know, do you want to see a Jack the Clown origin story house? Do you want to see, more of his part of this Halloween Horror Nights universe expanded upon? Because, I think the first year he was around was in 2000. So it's been a very long time, just to have him there. And I think it's something that might be overdue, just to kind of get to know Jack a little more. But I've also seen that some people feel that there's been an oversaturation of Jack in the park these last few years. Now, I personally don't agree, because, again, I love seeing him there, love the presence of these iconic characters. So I don't feel like it's an oversaturation. I don't feel like it's, too much. I feel like it's just enough. So again, please let me know down below what you think. Are you feeling it? Are you into it? Do you want it to be, something else entirely, just, standard spooky carnival or something like that? Like I always say, I do love talking to you guys about what these events could be. So definitely let me know. I always try to respond. And just for, look into the future, if you've stuck around this long, the next one I'm going to talk about is this one. And that video, I'm going to really have to force myself to not go overboard in talking about, because it's something that just from that image, there's a lot of ideas coming to mind, and it's very exciting. So look forward to that. I'm going to the parks pretty soon. I'm going to try and have a kind of merch update. They dropped the Last of Us shirt and I believe a mug in the park. So I want to go kind of get a picture of it, maybe make a video. So, look forward to that. But until then, thanks so much for watching, and stay groovy.